Welcome back, y'all. It's Omni-Man Comics. Got another video for you. Today we're going to be going over stuff that I read in January in order-ish, and I might give you a rating. I might not. To be honest, on some of these I started yapping a little bit, so just bear with me. I got a lot of opinions on each of these books. I really enjoyed some not so much. I guess you'll see. Um, you know, stick around till the end of the video and leave a like. All right, I'm gonna try to do everything in order. And to start it off with, I started this late December, but it carried on through the beginning of January. We have Grant Morrison's new X-Men. I got the first two epics and I finished it online. This was a great run. I usually like Grant Morrison's storytelling. It's foreshadowing for the rest of this video for other things on this list. Yeah, I love this. Great storytelling. Got some drama in there. The art is a little shaky at times, but there's some good issues in there, especially art by Frank Quietly here in this first volume. Got some standout issues, but definitely the later on in the run, the more shaky it gets for me. I could stomach it personally. Most of the time I didn't mind, but it's definitely not pretty to look at sometimes. But great storytelling. This is my first real introduction to comics X-Men, and I felt like it was a heavy hitter. I loved it. Next, we have another Grant Morrison book. We have Batman by Grant Morrison. Like I said, you know, I loved New X-Men. That was Grant Morrison as well. The writing in it was fantastic. I thought I would love this too, and I bought all three of them at the same time because they were all on sale. Got them for a great price. But this one, I'm not gonna lie, the first quarter was great. I loved it. Solid storytelling by Grant Morrison. We have the introduction of Damian Wayne. Loved that. And then near the middle, it lost me a little bit. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know if there's a lot of context that I'm missing, and I guess you always run that risk buying creator centric omnis, which is okay with me most of the time, because I can get context from other places, but this was on another level, to be honest. But we got the Zern R stuff, which was confusing at first, but the color scheme is freaking fuck gas. But yeah, pretty confusing run. I'm hoping I can follow along better in the later two volumes. I've already read one trade paperback volume of the Dick Grayson, Damian Wayne stuff, and I loved it. So that's actually why I picked these up, because I thought it was going to be an entire run of that type of charismatic character writing. But it wasn't bad. There was still some stories in here I liked, like the Knives Out esque issues. I really liked the murder mystery type thing. Like I said, I like the introduction to Damian Wayne. I don't get why people hate on him. I don't. But yeah, it was pretty great. I think the start of my confusion was actually here, where it shows Damian Wayne in the future being Batman. That confused the hell out of me. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, overall, I'd give it a 6 out of 10. Maybe that's a little harsh, but I just didn't understand it. Next up, we have the Astonishing X-Men by Whedon and Cassidy. I I love this, honestly. This is a great follow-up to New X-Men, and so far, X-Men has hit 2 for 2 for me. I'm loving it, and I'm hoping the more I read, the more I love it. I hope, um, this is a great run. I honestly didn't expect this writing from Josh Whedon. Um, it's pretty good. Uh, Not a whole lot to say about it. It was just good all around. I'm gonna give it a solid 8.5 out of 10. Next, I read Watchmen by Alan Moore and Dave Gibbons. Um, this one is pretty. The art's wonderful. I'll say that the art is beautiful. It's in the slipcase backwards, or the dust jacket. Excuse me. Art is wonderful. I loved it from the first issue to the last. Um, in my opinion, I don't know if it's because I'm too small brained for this story, is what people have been telling me. But it did have some pacing issues. I think the beginning of it was a slight slog for me. Um, just being introduced to all the characters. I don't know if it's because I've already been introduced to these characters. Not to this extent, but you know, growing up in the 2000s, we got the Watchmen movie, we got the animated adaptation from HBO. We have all that, so I've been introduced to these characters. I don't know the story inside and out, but definitely has some pacing issues. Um, it doesn't feel wordy, even though it is, but it feels like every word has a meaning, if that makes sense. Um, Definitely. All right, I'm gonna tell you one thing. This might be controversial. Everybody says that these end of issue little segments, usually like 3-4 pages, everybody says that they are 100% essential to the story. And I started off reading all of them, and then near the middle of the book, yeah, I waned off a little bit, and then I picked back up at the end of the book. And out of the ones I did read, I probably read like 8 out of 12 of them, or 8 out of 11. Um, I didn't feel the significance to the main narrative. Now, I'm sure if you're going on your second, third reading of this book, you could read them and still get something out of this story. They're mainly just world building. They're mainly um, mentioning this, mentioning that, and then it'll go into more detail in the end of issue segments, if that makes sense. So I don't think it's completely essential on first reading, which, you know, is okay. I would just suggest not reading them on your first reading. Also, the pirate story, while I enjoyed it, I think I skipped the end of it, I'm not gonna lie, and I heard that it did have some significance to the Ozymandias character. But I was reading it, and honestly, it with the alternating dialogue, it would confuse me. I don't know if that sounds weird. I don't know. It would throw off the story for me, and I wouldn't be invested in either one. You know what I mean? So I while I do believe it is essential reading, it's just the way it was done, and the maybe I didn't draw some of the parallels while I was reading it, which maybe would have tied it all together a little bit more. I'm definitely gonna go back and reread this, but not my favorite book, um, not my least favorite. It was a good read. It was a good read. I would suggest really taking your time on it. And me personally, whenever I read this, I tried to binge the whole thing, and I got a little bit burnt out. It took me a while. It took me almost two weeks to get through this thing. I tried to binge it in like the first 4 or 5 days. But Watchmen. Next, we have an Image title. This one might come in second of my favorite of the month. Maybe third. I don't know. But we have Lazarus by Greg Rucka. This is amazing. I love this stuff. The art is amazing, first of all. You know, the world building is very solid. Even from this first collection here, I can really, this is like a living, breathing world, and I love it. You know, the dialogue all flows so well into each other. It really felt like it was written for TV, which, hey, if this hasn't gotten an adaptation yet, what are y'all doing? Give this thing a shot. Yeah, it really feels like it was meant for TV, and it feels like it would be super, super, super engaging. This is a really engaging read. I loved every second of it. This is this is just a page turner. This is one of those things where you finish an issue, and you're like, that was good. Maybe, you know, you just like just one more issue, and I did that like all night till the end of this book. I binged this thing, and it was great. I loved it. You know, the concepts of everything is super cool. Of a Lazarus, kind of like a Terminator for each family, which is really cool. You know, just super cool concepts, and I love the whole thing. Super flowy dialogue, good art, just, man, just super dope stuff. The action in this is really good too. It's like you don't miss a beat. It all just flows so well together. Yeah, it was great. Lazarus. Next, we have Lazarus, the second collection. I started this on the last couple of days of January, and like I said, bro, I binged this series. I read about a quarter of this book already in the first day or two. It's now February, but yeah, man, this thing is, ooh, it's so good, man. It just, like everything just flows perfectly together, and it feels like such a well put together and planned out world and story. It's just awesome. I love it. Lazarus, second collection. All right, guys, that is gonna wrap up the video. If you liked it, leave a like. If there's anything you want me to read this month, you know, from anything behind me or any of your personal favorites, go ahead and comment it down below. I love getting new recommendations of awesome stuff, and I'd love to check it out. Thank you.